Hello, everybody. I'm back with another Fresh Out of the Theater movie review. It's been a while since I've done one, but it's been a while since I've actually seen a movie in time to make this relevant and in time to be helpful and useful to anyone. So I am just out of the theater, right there, at age 21, Irvine Spectrum, and I just saw Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald. So like always, these reviews are fresh out of the theater, so I can get my quick initial reaction unedited and kind of messy sometimes, so I apologize for that. But anyways, a little background, I'm pretty well versed in Harry Potter and the universe and all of the things going on in it, and I'm not super prepared for this. Like, I felt like I wanted to be. Read some like recaps and kind of got caught up. I really wish I would have seen the first one before this, but generally I had idea what's going on. If you're a big fan of Harry Potter, I feel like you'll love this, and I highly recommend it. There are a ton of Easter eggs and little drop-ins that Harry Potter fans will love. If you're not a fan, I can see this being a little bit of a turn-off to you. So this is kind of what I think a lot of people want Star Wars to do, but they don't do it for this reason. Because when this film is made for fans, and I think the first Fantastic Beasts is as well. If you're not into it and you're just a casual viewer, a lot of stuff's going to go over your head. And you might lose interest, and you might just check out of it. I could easily see that happening. That's why Star Wars kind of does things, they don't tie things together the way that fans want them to. Because they want it to be safe and they want people to come and see it. That's kind of the problem with this, I feel like. And I feel like I didn't read any reviews beforehand. I saw some headlines and kind of snippets of what people thought. And I think you really need to be a really invested fan to really enjoy this. Overall, I really liked it, but I feel like I need to see it again. There is a lot of stuff that goes in here. The great thing about having J.K. Rowling at the head of all of this and crafting all of this story is that she knows the story. She knows when she can add in new things, new canon, I guess we could say, and she knows when she can play with things or kind of retcon things that happened in the past and give an explanation for it. And I think that's a good thing, because as a storyteller, you always want to be expanding your story and creating and making things new, and she does that a lot. And there's a lot of stuff where you watch and you're just like, whoa, I didn't know that could happen in this universe. I didn't know that thing existed. I didn't know this and this and this and this. There's a lot of that, and I think it's really cool. But at the same time, I need to go back and I need to see what I missed, and I need to see what some of the things mean and just piece it all together, because there's a lot, especially there at the end. There's a ton going on. The story is kind of jumpy. It's kind of all over the place, and there's kind of storylines where you're just like, there were points where I was just like, why are they doing that? Where did this come from? Like, some characters, you didn't know they had a certain goal that they were, or objective, and they did, and it turned out to be very important. I don't know, they kind of came out of nowhere. I can see that being a stickler for people as well. It's a lot darker. I feel like it's a lot darker. Very emotional, a lot of emotional scenes. I was very emotional through the whole thing, and a lot of strong parts in that case. My favorite thing about Fantastic Beasts, both the movies, is the acting and the performances in it. They really go for it. I love a lot of the actors that make the bold choices and do crazy characters that are stretching them and they're out there. And there's a lot of that in these films, and I love it. I think it's really cool for me. I think it shows a lot of craft and a lot of talent, and there's a lot of it. I've never had a problem with Newt, which I know some people then they can't connect with him, but I can connect with him, and I think it's interesting to have such a strange and awkward character and someone who is different and unique and has a different perspective. And I know some people don't connect with that, but I think it's really cool to have a character like that, and I can still empathize with them and still feel for them, because there are actually people like that in the world, and it's good to be able to connect with those people. So I've always liked Newt. I've always liked how Eddie Redmayne plays Newt. I think it's great. A lot of the other characters, Credence, Ezra Miller as Credence, didn't do as much in this as he did in the last one, I feel like, but he's still there, he's still present, and he's still strong when he's there. I thought the whole Nagini thing was cool. I thought her character was cool. And that's just one of those things that's cool. It's like a cool little backstory that J.K. Rowling can throw in there that I understand people have a problem with it. I don't have one as much personally, but also I'm not in the same shoes as them, so I understand that and how that could bother some people. But I think it worked well, and it's just interesting to see the journey. I think a lot of this movie too was just realizing this one, more than the last film, it ended as it's a stepping stone for another film. It ended very serial, and it ended in a way where you're like, okay, what's going to happen next? Like, there's another film for sure that we're going to need some answers from, and you can definitely see that in watching this film. It feels a lot more like an episode in the series than the first Fantastic Beasts, which is cool. Which is like it's that like, and maybe that'll fix some of the story problems and where things are going and how they're jumping around, because they'll all connect back later. I was really interested in Lita Lestrange's character and how Zoe Kravitz played her. I thought she did great. Theseus meets brother is a really cool character, and I really enjoyed it in here. There's a lot of conflicts and a lot of action set pieces that are centered around kind of unnecessary things. I feel like it's just like things that kind of happened. Maybe I just got lost or got checked out, but there was just a lot of things that were happening that I didn't know why they were happening or where it was going. It kind of came out of the blue. But maybe that's just me. I'm not the smartest person in the world. But I still, overall, enjoyed the film. I really loved it. I loved the Wizarding World and the whole franchise and all the stories. Making me really want to jump back in and reread the books and step away from the Star Wars bubble that I'm so often trapped in, but there's so much stuff in there that's hard to do. And I love it so much. But this is Wizarding World and Harry Potter is my second favorite. I will say that. So it's definitely something I need to brush up on and get more acquainted with. I still haven't even seen or read Cursed Child, so shame on me for that. Anyways, this is a movie review. You don't need to be hearing any of that. Like I said, definitely recommend Fantastic Beasts, Crimes of Grindelwald for anyone who is a fan, a deeply invested fan of the Wizarding World, of this franchise. For a casual fan, I still think there's things you'll enjoy with it, but I don't know if you'll enjoy it as much as the other fans. But I mean, it's, I don't know, something you can do. I don't remember how much money the last one made. I think it's pretty sure it did pretty well, but this one might take a dive just because it's the second one, and people aren't as curious as what they're going to see out of this franchise. Oh, Jude Law. I forgot I mentioned Jude Law. Jude Law is awesome as Dumbledore. I thought it was great casting, and I can't wait to see more from him. He does really great. And that whole, it's just, everyone's backstory is just kind of just like, they're doing all these origin stories of all these characters at the same time while going through the series, and while taking you through the story with Newt Scamander, who's someone who never knew him really anything about, but now we really know a lot about him. So really cool. Jacob's storyline's really cool. Clooney's, all of it. Anyways, this is getting too long. Go see it. I recommend it to your fan. So that's my review of Harry Potter. Not called Harry Potter. I'm getting distracted. Fantastic Beasts. Crimes of Grindelwald. So, that's the next time. And check out some vlogs. Do all that fun stuff. Got a lot of cool stuff on the channel. You should subscribe. Okay, bye.